Okay, 2.6, number 22. So we have a cone. We have dr dt is 2 inches, so we're going to write that down as given information. Dr dt equals 2. Excuse me. And we know that h equals 3r. And what do we want? It's asking us for the rate of change of volume, which is dv dt. So if we want dv dt, we're going to need to have volume in here somewhere. So we have the volume of a cone equals 1/3 pi r squared times h. We have dr dt, so we want to keep r around because we want dr dt to show up because that's our given information. So we want to replace h. So what we're going to do is instead of writing h, we're going to write 3r because h is equal to 3r. So we can replace that. So we get that the volume equals 1/3 pi r squared multiplied by 3r. Okay, that is going to simplify. You have 3 times 1/3. 3 times 1/3 is just 1. So we're getting pi r cubed. Okay, again, 3 and 1/3 cancels, and then you just have r times r squared is r cubed. So we have our volume equals pi r cubed. So now we're going to ddt that whole thing. Let's actually write this out. So we have volume equals pi r cubed, and we're going to dt the whole thing because we ultimately want dv dt. Excuse me. So we get the derivative of v with respect to t equals pi times 3r squared dr dt. And now we want to plug in our given information. So a says r equals 6, and a r equals 6. So we have dv dt equals pi times 3 times 6 squared times what's dr dt? Dr dt is 2. So we multiply that whole thing by 2. And then we're just going to simplify that. So we'll come back to that. I'm sure the book has this answer in terms of pi. We'll simplify that in a sec. B, we have r equals 24. Okay. So all that's going to change is we're going to have 24 squared instead of 6 squared. So we get dv dt equals pi times 3 times 24 squared times 2. Okay. So let's simplify both these answers now. 6 squared is 36. 36 times 2 is 72. 72 times 3 is 216. So this answer is 216 pi, which is how it'll show up in most multiple choice answers. And in an FRQ, you don't want to simplify more than you have to because you don't get more points for simplifying more. But if you want to check your decimal answer, 216 times pi is just 678.58. Okay, 678.58. And then down here, 24 squared is, I was going to do it in my head. I'm just going to check. 576, okay. So 576 times 2 times 3. That's equal to 3,456, so we have 3,456 pi. Final answers. So what does that mean? It means that when the radius is 6 and dr dt, the radius is changing at 2 feet every, 2 inches every second, every minute, 2 inches every minute. Okay, so it's changing 2 inches per minute. Well, then the volume is changing at 678.58 inches, or inches cubed per minute. Or when the radius is 24, the volume is changing at 3,456 pi inches cubed per minute. That's what dv dt means.